Never a fast draw, fan, spin cock, trying to do a triple shot, anything with live ammo. I'm a professional. Well, not really, but I am a legend in my own mind, so I can do it.
All these people talking about the recoil of the 458 to 375, they're either drama queens or they got a little bit of sissy in them.
Fill your hand, you son of a bitch!
Alright, so I just got back from the range. We unload this. It shot perfect as far as no light primer strikes, nothing like that. There you can see the primers. Hopefully I can get this to focus. No light primer strikes. They all look good. These were not hot loads by any means. They were pushing, I'm going to guess because I don't have a chronograph, they were pushing between 800 and 850 feet per second. The load that I used for 240 grain bullet out of a 4-inch Smith & Wesson, that's what the reloading manual, what they tested the velocity and all that was 860 feet per second. That was a 4-inch barrel. This is 2.5, so I'm going to say that somewhere between 800 and 850 feet per second. Accuracy was not the greatest. There's guys that claim they can shoot 3-inch groups with a snub nose at 25 yards. I don't, for concealed carry with a snub nose, I don't measure groups. If they fit in, the circle like this, the size of a head, at 15-20 yards, that's plenty good enough for me. And that's not sitting there taking your time or shooting, single action cock and a hammer. That's pulling up, double action, fire 5 shots. Doesn't have to be super fast, but you can't just sit there and take your time aiming, because realistically, in a life or death situation, you're not going to do that. This gun shot, I had some off to the left, a couple off to the left, and a couple off to the right. Them were absolutely me, because out of almost 40 rounds I shot, 90% of them were centered of the target. It does shoot high. It shoots, I would guess, between, well, right around 2 inches high at, I think I had it set at 10 yards, the target. Now, if you guys remember, this gun, I am finally done with it, but this gun was beat to death I've got almost all of them gone, but I had to file on this. So, and then the front sight was all mashed up, so I had to file on the front sight, on the sides, and on the top a little bit to clean this gun up and get it good. So it's shooting high is most likely, you know, the work I did to the gun to clean this gun up and make this gun nice again. My goal with this gun is it'll shoot buffalo boar. I didn't shoot any today. I was going to, but I ran out of time. And that's fine if I was in the woods where there might be some bears or something, then I'd carry buffalo boar. But realistically, if I was going any place where there was grizzlies, I would most likely take my 44 mag or one of my 45 Colts, just because I'm not going to push this to what I can get 44 mag or 45 Colt to, this 44 special, at least not out of this gun. But that being said, I'm happy with it. This is not a review of this gun. I don't feel comfortable saying yes, Charter Arms makes good guns or bad guns. Like I said, the accuracy, that could be the work that I did cleaning up the gun and filing on the sights and that. I never fired this before I started fixing it up, so I don't know if it had, you know, light primer strikes before or not. I don't know if this gun was factory or if whoever had it before me lightened any springs, did any of that. When I took it all apart to clean everything, it didn't look like the hammer or the trigger or anything had been polished or nothing. I went ahead before I did anything, after I cleaned it up and just made sure everything looked good internally, I did add a Wolf extra power spring, and that may be affecting the accuracy some too, because it does have a fairly heavy trigger on it. But with all the videos out there talking about light primer strikes on these and that, I just didn't want to chance light primer strikes because this is going to be my carry gun. I need to do more practice with it. There's nothing wrong with my 357 Magnum snub nose, but I work in the cities a lot, Detroit, Flint. If I get into a situation, I want a bigger bullet than a 357 Magnum. I want bigger holes with less penetration than a 357 Magnum. So that's why I wanted one of these for concealed carry. Ideally, the factory load back years ago for this was a 246 grain bullet at 755 feet per second. I am going to be loading up between 240 and 250 grain bullets for this. I'm going to start out with right around 750 feet per second, moving all the way up to 850 feet per second. I'm going to find a load that groups where I want it. Like I said, at 15, 20 yards, I want a group like this. That would be 6-7 inches probably. Once I get it there, then I'll play around, figure out which load is the most accurate. Then I'll play around with trying to up the powder or lower the powder a little bit. But what my main goal with this gun is I want to get this gun where it shoots as accurate as I'm going to shoot with a snub nose. There are people that shoot way more accurate than me, but my goal for this is I wanted a big bore that has, expends all the bullet energy going through the target with less risk of smoking somebody on the other side of them. I don't want over penetration with this, so I'm going to play around. I might even make up one of Paul Harrell's meat targets and either tune the load up or tune the load down where I get just enough penetration to get all the way through with the least amount of chances of, smoking somebody that's not intended to be, if I ever had to use this. God forbid, hopefully I never need to use this in a life or death situation. But before I start carrying this, I want to get the most accurate load I can get out of it with the penetration that I want in that, so I'm not going to be carrying this yet right away. I will say I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's got that brushed stainless steel look. Like I said, I got 95% of all them marks that were in the beat up in the frame and on the cylinder and that off of it. So all in all, I'm really happy with this. I mean, right now, realistically, with a little bit of practice and the load that I had in it, it would shoot good enough for concealed carry. But I want to play around with it a little bit. I definitely want to practice with it. I want this to be second nature. I want it to be comfortable when it comes out of the holster. I don't want to have to think about it. I want to be able to pull it out of the holster, shoot, hit, not have to aim or nothing else. And you know, when I say pull out of the holster, shoot, hit, that's at 10 yards. I figure anything further than 10 yards is hit and miss, you know, whether when you go to court they're going to try and claim you killed somebody, or was it, you know, self-defense. If it's 10 yards or less, I think you got a lot better chance of claiming self-defense. But that's where we're at with it. One of the subscribers, Tom, sent me a bunch of bullets, but of course, you know, the post office says arriving late. They were supposed to have been here on Wednesday. That still, when I track it, says arriving late. They'll get here when they get here. Ain't much I can do about that. But I'm really happy with this gun. Like I said, this is not a review. This is just, it's a gun that I wanted, but with all the videos out there claiming light primer strikes and some claiming timing issues and that, I mean, go through the comments of the last video, and I would say 30 to 40% of them were people that had problems with these. So like I said, I don't feel right saying it's a piece of junk because it wasn't brand new out of the box. You guys seen it, it was beat to crap. You know, I just don't think I'd be fair saying that it was a bad gun, and I don't think I'd be fair saying it's a great gun because of all the work I did do to it to get it where it's at now. I will say I really, really like this gun. At first, I didn't think I would like it. I had an old Bulldog made in the 70s, and on that, this guide rod was exposed. It didn't have this underlug. The barrel was 3 inches, and I think it was nostalgia that, you know, I like the original Bulldog. But after working on this, thinking about it, this underlug is way better. It protects this guide rod from getting bent. If these guide rods bent, or these rods bent, ejection rods, sorry, not guide rods, but if these ejection rods bent, they can actually cause the cylinder to jam up when it's rotating and stuff like that. So for concealed carry, the 2.5-inch barrel I believe is better. The lug with the enclosed ejection rod I believe is better. I do wish this was a blued, steel blued gun. I like blued guns, especially with these imitation ivory grips, which they held up under the recoil. And I mean, it wasn't a 44 mag by any means, but you could see in the beginning video that it definitely had some recoil to it. So like I said, I really like the gun. No complaints with it. Now it's just up to me to practice with it, get better with it, and find the best load for it. And if you guys are interested, tell me in the comments. As I'm trying to figure out the load that I'm going to use for this, I'll put it in. If not, I won't even waste your guys' time. If you want to support the channel, I don't have a Patreon anymore. I shut that down. I was going to do channel memberships, but I can't give memberships away for free. I have to charge for them, so I'm not going to do that. So if you want to support the channel, just share the videos, comment on the videos, and like them. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. If not, you know, you want to watch each individual video and you don't like this video but you do like this one, go through, like, share, and comment on the ones you like, and on the ones you don't do anything, or tell me you don't like them. It don't really matter to me. I don't censor comments, so if your comment's been deleted or something like that, that's not me doing it, that's YouTube. I don't delete comments unless you comment something that's illegal or something that encourages violence, something like that, things that are considered criminally wrong. If you want to tell me that this gun's a piece of junk, I don't delete them comments. If you want to tell me it's great, I don't delete them comments. If you want to call me a FUD or a boomer like some people do, I don't delete them comments. If you don't like me and you tell me, I don't delete your comments. I don't delete comments. I read every comment. Sometimes it takes me a day or two to get to them, but I read every comment. I appreciate every comment, and I appreciate whether you leave a good comment or a bad comment. I appreciate you taking the time to comment. So with that being said, that's where I'm at on this gun. Really happy with it. Really like it. So let me know what you guys think. Have a good day.